The U.S. government chose winning bids today to develop wind power in the Gulf of Maine in the first commercial sale for floating offshore wind on the Atlantic coast. The sale resulted in 2 winners on 4 lease areas and nearly $22 million in winning bids. 2 of the leases went to Avangrid Renewables for areas about 35 miles from Massachusetts. The other went to Invenergy Any Offshore Wind for areas about 25 miles from Massachusetts. The 4 areas combined are more than 625 square miles and have the potential to power more than 2.3 million homes, according to the Interior Department. Environmentalists praise the lease sale, though commercial fishermen who have questioned the expansion of offshore wind said they remain opposed.